Okay, today I am going to set up my 2024, no idea what to call it, planner, overview, summary planner. It's just basically a place where I want a summary of the entire year. I'm not really doing any planning in it, but it's just meant to be like just the highlights of the year and like social media stats and books that I've read. So it's just, I've never really had a place for the entire year before, and I was thinking about it, and I guess it's kind of just like a bullet journal with like different spreads in there, but just dedicated to the year. So I was thinking like it would be nice to have several of these for each year and be able to flip back and see the entire year at a glance, because I'm very much used to operating on the daily level, and so sometimes it's nice to be able to take a step back and see how you've progressed in the year. So yeah, I just consider this more of like a overview summary journal that will be nice to look back on. Before we start, I wanted to just like mention my nails. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but they're very purple, and they weren't really meant to be purple. I've been mixing nail polishes because I've got a few with a little bit left, and it's just a way of using up nail polish, because like over the past 20 years, over the past 30 years, my entire life, I have amassed a collection of nail polishes, and I am dealing with the consequences now, and I'm trying to use it up. And one way to use it up is like combining nail polishes so that you have like nicer colors kind of thing, because I had made some questionable choices with my nail polish colors. One of them was this like purple gray tone, which is not a bad color, just on me, just cool tones do not work. Hopefully you cannot tell it's that purple, but in real life it's quite like a dark purple. It's an interesting color, but yeah, not my ideal choice of nail polish color. For the cover, I don't think I want to put anything on there. I was contemplating putting maybe just like a vinyl sticker or just stamping 2024 on here, but I already have it on the first page, so it feels a little repetitive. I might change my mind later, but for now I'm just going to keep it blank. And if I need to know the year, I can just flip forward to the first page. So I think this video will have a mix of just me talking to you directly now, and then maybe some voiceovers as well, because it'll take a while for me to like rule the pages, like rule lines and draw boxes and all that. So I might speed through some of that setting up process and put a voiceover if I need to explaining it. Otherwise this video will be very long because there are quite a few pages to fill out. I'm pretty much just setting it up. I'm not really filling out anything yet. I've put post-it notes here pretty much just to let myself know what each page is for. Like I said, I have changed a little bit, but this has stayed the same. So letter to future self, it's just fun. This doesn't really mean anything. I don't think I've done it before, but I thought it'd be nice to write myself a letter and then not read it until the end of the year to see how like my mindset has changed maybe, or if I've achieved any of the goals that I set out to achieve. It's not meant to be too serious. It's just hopefully a nice little memory to have to myself, a little message before, and at the very end there'll be a letter to self again, but it was more just like answering how 2024 was. So this book is sandwiched with a letter from my past self and then future self, current self. Anyway, I just thought that was a nice way to start it and end it. Also, I had spare pages, so I was going to use like a nice envelope, but I have so many like seconds envelopes. If you can tell, it's not very cut nicely. Sometimes the Cameo reads it weird. It's still a functional envelope though, and it's not like I'm going to use it for anything else, so I just figured I would stick that there. So I'm probably just going to stick that down now. Do I want it like that? Or like that, so it doesn't fall out? Ideally it would be a top one, but again, I just have this lying around, so I might as well use it. I think that's fine like that. Use glue tape. Do I need one in the middle? Yeah. That is crooked. No, that's fine. As you will soon see, or maybe you already know, I'm a perfectionist in a lot of ways, but not when it comes to setting up pages. Like, I'm just too lazy And as we say in Australia, I just can't be bothered. I just can't go through the effort of setting it up when it's good enough. And I feel like I need that for journaling and planning, because if I applied my perfectionism to my planning, I think that would ruin it for me a little bit, because it's meant to be a safe space. I'm meant to like unleash my creativity and have fun. So I don't want to be too perfect with this stuff. It doesn't mean I don't care about aesthetics. I let myself just aim for good enough. Mood board, I have already created this and I've printed it off, and I'm just going to stick it here. It's a little bigger than I thought, but I think it's okay. Yeah, I'm just going to stick that there. So my mood board is not that serious. Mood board, vision board. I want it to give me the vibe. Is this running out? I think it ran out. Give me the aesthetic for the year, but I don't want it to be that different from my life, because I do. Yeah, I'm out. Can I stick it down with just that? Oh no, I have no glue tape left. I want it to be aspirational, but I don't want it to be unrealistic either. This is very hard to talk while doing. Okay, is that centered? That's good enough. But to me, I mean, pretty much every year, my mood boards always look the same. This is going to bother me, but I will do that when I get some more glue tape. I'm actually completely out of it. Journaling, books, working, traveling, and then just like home date night vibes. And this is my mantra, my theme for 2024, which is to take up space. So that's I don't usually set a theme because I don't think I usually stick to it, but it's just fun to do, so I thought I would do that. These just look like aesthetic photos, but to me they are, like, some of them are a little bit deeper. So to me this represents like journaling outside, journaling in public, and just like taking up space in public, because normally journaling or doing anything in public is a little bit terrifying for me. So to me this represents like the confidence and like I just call it the audacity to take up space, because that's part of my theme. I've stepped out of my comfort zone a lot, but I've also spent a good chunk of my life playing small and not taking up too much space and just like being too afraid to step on anyone's toes. And I want 2024 to be the year where I really step into my confident self. And so this is what that photo represents too. That's very close to like my outfit. This is like partly manifesting, I guess. And these two is like manifesting. No, not manifesting. It's reminding myself to keep a clean desk space. This part that you see right now might look clean, but the rest of my desk is not so clean because I've just been preparing for a shop date and it's just been building up like crazy. But that's also another big goal for 2024, to just make sure I have a place for everything so things don't get as cluttered. Like, deal with the mess as it comes. And just coffee everywhere because I love coffee. And books, just as usual, continuing reading in public. Just not being afraid to be myself in public, really. So I'm not going to write the letter right now, but I will write that on a random piece of paper that I have, and then I will put that in there. And then that's my mood board. Is that all I wanted to say about that? I think so. So again, it's not anything dramatic, but to me it's like a reminder of like how I want my life to be. Even though it is kind of similar to how my life is, that's a good thing. Like, it's a reminder to stay on this path. Like, this is the life you've been working for. This is like the calm, quiet, simple living kind of life that you've been. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyway, that's what my mood board represents for me. And then on the next page, we've got goals and intentions. So I don't think I explained this before, but goals are more concrete things that I want to achieve and that are actually measurable, so I can tick them off as I go throughout the year. Like, if I've actually achieved it or not, it's simple enough for me to be able to tick it off. Like, it's concrete and measurable. Intentions is a little bit more vague, and it's more like how I want to show up in 2024. I've prepared what I wanted to write down. I've already written it down on my computer, but I will read out what intentions I have once I write it down. I actually have no idea how I want this page to look. I think I'm just gonna write down a very simple bullet list and just write goals, intentions. Do I just want to stamp it out? I really haven't thought about the design of it that much. I just know the content that I want. So I'm going to use these little stamps, I think. I don't think I'm going to rule any lines or boxes, but let's just stamp the headings. pretty good. That's like slightly too much that way, but I think that's pretty good. Let's put it off to the side. So that is goals and intentions. And like I said, I'm just gonna write it directly underneath, nothing too fancy. My problem with blank pages is that I cannot write straight. I don't think I'm too bad, but it's always just slightly off and then it bothers me. But I've got this, I don't know what it's called, this lined reference thing from a old Leuchtturm journal planner. I never really used it because these lines were way too big and these lines were way too small, so I actually printed off my own. But I think I'm going to use it for this. Oh no, I've stuck it on this side so I can't even see it. That is not helpful. Okay, I'm just gonna have to try to make the first one. Look, I could rule it out, but I really don't want to. Like, I use this daily planner and that's pretty much blank as well. And I managed to keep it somewhat straight. As long as the first one is straight, the rest of them is straight. So, you know what? We're just gonna do it. Let me take this pen. I actually need that pen. Alright, so I have one personal goal, which is to do 10 pull-ups. It's my only like one personal fitness goal. All my other goals are pretty much business goals, I guess. I guess I could add a personal goal to read, but also I don't really care. Read 60 books because this year I'm on track to reading 60 books, so I guess we can write it, but to me that's a boring goal. Like, yes, I want to achieve it, but I want the goals to inspire me a little bit too when I see it and when I look back, that I know like, oh yes, that's what I wanted to do for that year. So like reading 60 books is not very, I don't think it's very inspiring for me. It's just like something to just tick off. So I'm contemplating if I want to, I guess. I mean, it doesn't hurt. There's so much space here. I don't think I'm going to fill it up. Let's just write it anyway. Let me write it on the computer first. Read 60 books. Okay, I will start there. Do I want to put a bullet point so I can tick it off? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to write it. So I'm going to write 10 pull-ups. That is not in the middle, but it's directly in the middle of that. I forgot that that wasn't in the middle. Okay, that's fine. I think that's relatively straight. So the next one is to read 60 books. The next thing is a big business goal for me because it's the direction I kind of want to take the business a little bit more. I want to lean into more of this side. I've taken steps towards it, but I haven't really pushed it. So I would like to do a little bit more coaching and mentoring in 2024. And I know that might sound weird because I haven't really mentioned it anywhere, but I feel like my workshop patrons know that that's something I'm really passionate about. I just love mentoring people through their business journey. And sometimes, like, even I really benefit from mentoring, from having that third-party perspective, just give you a little bit more clarity about where you're going and what you can improve on. But business is like my passion, business, productivity. And so being able to coach people through that and helping them overcome, like doing it from a place of like overcoming perfectionism and imposter syndrome, just a bit more like a self-care business coaching kind of direction. Anyway, my goal is one paid coaching call because I have done technically unpaid coaching calls. I do group kind of coaching calls with my Patreon. They're not really coaching calls because it's just a structured check-in every single month. But we do talk about ways you can like improve the way you're doing things. So there is an element of coaching in it, but I'm just going to write down one paid coaching call. So I had a big website client this year that took up probably about like 4 months to complete. And the year before that I had like, it's a big thing. Like I'm going way too deep into this, but I like diversifying what I do because it means I don't have to lean so heavily into one thing. Like if I was only designing websites, I would have to rely on like that consistent income. But because I can supplement my website design stuff with other design stuff and with Patreon and YouTube and all that, then I can just get away with like one website client a year. And I really like that. I really like that balance. So I would like to have, again, a new website client this year. My next goal is 5 unplanned podcast episodes. I don't know how many I did this year. I think maybe only 2, which is kind of an achievement, but I still very much want to work on that a little bit more. I have so many things I want to talk about and I want to share. I want to share like part of my business journey and what's worked for me. And it's just a matter of time, but also like getting over my my insecurity and like fear a little bit. Even though I've done a few already, it's still kind of scary every time. But yes, it's important to me. So it's a goal I really want to hit. So 5 unplanned podcast episodes. That's going to be kind of long. Oh no, that is so off center. Okay, that's fine. We're going to have to like correct it back this way. Another business goal, this is more product related, is to get rubber stamps made. I have wanted to get rubber stamps made for the longest time. I feel like I'm big on using stamps over stickers sometimes because it's just more cost effective. It's not the most portable or convenient when you're like journaling outside, but I hardly ever leave the home. So stamps would work well for me for like things that I use often, like Instagram stamps, weather icons, just little quote things. I just find them like, they're bulky, but I just find them so fun. And I feel like if it's a design that you will use often, like for example, my alphabet stamps, like I could have made those stickers, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like I don't need to explain why stamps are good to you, but I would love to get some rubber stamps made. And also PET tape. So I love PET tape. I feel like it just lasts so long. Again, the value is just amazing compared to a sticker sheet. I can get that outsourced. I just need to work on the design. I just have to get over the fear of like, is this design good enough to go onto a PET tape? And I just have to work on that. So those are my 2 product goals. I think that's it. And like more washi tapes, but is that a goal? I guess I'll write it down. More washi tapes. Now we're going too far to the right. I wrote down brand photo shoot. So what I mean by that is I don't really have photos of myself because I consider myself more of a photographer. So I'm not really behind the camera as much. I don't really like being on camera as much. But it's useful to have your own photos, and I think it's good for my design business to just have on the website, but just in general to have like not just headshots of yourself, but more lifestyle stuff. So I think I want to do just at least one brand like proper photo shoot. My husband can help me with that because he's also a photographer. I'll probably direct him in the style that I want, but it's something that's been on my kind of to-do list for a while. So I feel like let's just make it a goal and get proper photos of myself. So brand photo shoot, I'll probably just do that at home. Because like I don't even have a proper photo of myself on the About Me page, which is fine, but I think it's just a nice to have. And if I'm a photographer, I should be able to arrange that quite easily. And then the next, oh, I lied. There's 2 more product goals. I might write that. I kind of just added them at the end, but I'm going to add them here. So I already started working on it this year, but I kind of ran out of time and then I didn't want to rush myself. So I just decided to put it on the back burner, but I want to come back to it in 2024, which is to do a poetry zine and a business zine. So I don't know if calling it a zine is the correct thing. The poetry zine, maybe it's going to be just like words and text, but the business zine will be a little bit more interactive. I want it to be a workbook guide thing, like inspiration and tips, but also for you to be able to fill out in order to like get more clarity on like your business and the direction you want to take your business. So I can see that being like a multiple zine thing. I don't think you can have like everything to do with your business in one tiny zine, but it's not going to be a traditional zine where it's just like one piece of paper folded up. It's going to be just like a mini booklet basically. Those are the main ones. And then the remaining goals that I have, I feel like I need to give some background context. So they are stat goals, like how many YouTube subscribers I want and Instagram followers. But I want to say, and I will do a whole unplanned podcast episode about this eventually, it's not really a goal and it doesn't really matter if I reach it or not. It's just something to write down so I can subconsciously work towards it. It's not about hitting the number. It's about making sure I'm putting in the work in order to grow my channel or my Instagram, if that makes sense. So if I want to grow my YouTube, it's not about the growing of the YouTube. It's about making sure I make consistent videos that are interesting enough, engaging enough that people want to come back and watch it. So for me, like really the goal is just to create more YouTube videos, and indirectly I feel like my channel will grow that way. So I just want to point out that it's not about the numbers specifically, and I really don't care if I hit it or not. It's just a nice to have. But it would be nice to just look back and see like, oh, how funny, that was my goal for 2024, and like in 2028, look where I am now. So it's just kind of, I don't know if that made sense, but that's where my mindset is for that. I'm bringing that up because I don't want people to like put so much emphasis on like something that you can't really control when it comes down to it, because we're at the mercy of the algorithm, and all you can do is just focus on your content and what you put out there. I'm currently on 6.1k, so I think 4k in a year is kind of achievable. I don't want to do something ridiculous like 20. If it happens, it happens, but I don't want to stress myself out. Again, it's just, it'd be nice to have 10k at the end of next year, but no biggie. Similarly, I would like 10k Instagram followers. I'm currently at 8k, but that number fluctuates like every single day. This is so offset. It's starting to bother me. Let's bring it back over here. 60 patrons. So I'm actually already at 54 patrons, sometimes 55. I'm usually hovering around 50, 52. So it doesn't seem like very much, but my Patreon is a little bit difficult to grow, but I'm also totally fine with that because I really love the small community. So if I can gain like an extra 5 or 6 by the end of the year, and they stay on as kind of regular patrons. So I'm hoping this is like a steady 60. So I'm at a steady 52, I want to say. Like on average, I'm at least 52. So it'd be nice if I reach around 60. Again, not a big deal. I'm very grateful to have 50 patrons, but just a nice to have. And I think that's the very last thing. So I can always add more if I want to, but that is kind of the off-centered, messy first page, and that's okay. And now we're going to go to intentions, which is a lot more sentences. They're not really long, but I might put them, just to be able to separate them, because they are kind of sentences. I might do like a little star. Where do I start? The first one is a clean and tidy desk. I might left align it. Am I thinking too hard about this? I'm going to left align this one. But then is that weird? This one's centered. No, I need to left align it. So the first one is a clean and tidy desk. This pen is like slowly dying on me, I think. The next thing is a minimal and tidy home. I feel like I'm forever battling just cleaning, decluttering tasks. And also the reason why I haven't written this as a goal is because like at what point is this enough for you to tick off? Like it's just kind of an ongoing thing, so I feel like it's less of a goal and more of an intention of how you want to spend your year. The next thing is to have a place for everything. This is very Marie Kondo inspired, but I think it's a very good concept for keeping everything clean and tidy. The next thing is weekly-ish YouTube videos. This year I did struggle with posting videos consistently. Like for a 3-month period, maybe 4 months, I didn't post anything at all. But I feel like I'm back into the routine now, and I really want to keep that up in 2024. The next intention, this pen is annoying me. This next intention is to work on a clear brand voice for my personal Instagram, which is my Jysla K Instagram. Personal, do I want to go across? Personal's going to fit here, and then Instagram's going to go here. Personal IG, can I fit that? Nope. I'm probably going to switch to voiceover mode now because it's going to take too long for me to try to talk. I can't talk and write at the same time, so I'm just going to write down the rest of my intentions. pen was really testing my patience there, but I'm kind of happy with how that looks. Those are my goals and intentions, really simple. I may put a sticker, I may not. I don't really think I need to, but if I change my mind, I can always go back and do that. I'll probably flip back often because I just want to get like the general vibe of how it's looking. This is new for me, by the way. I don't think I've ever done this before. I usually think about it, but I don't think I ever really explicitly journal it or like intentionally write it down somewhere. So this is kind of new for me. I'm experimenting with it, but I'm really, really happy with this. And I feel so determined now that I've written this. Like I know exactly how I want my year to be. And I have like a good gauge of like, I know I've had a good year. I know I've taken care of myself, and I know I've hit my like, not only business goals, but like taking care of myself mentally and emotionally with this as well. But yes, that's the goals and intentions page. Pretty boring, but pretty simple. You can do this in any notebook, I guess. The next page is the quarterly plan. I think I just wanted to draw boxes for this, just to split, not boxes, but just split the page in half. And I don't think it's going to be a quarterly plan. I think it's just going to be quarterly goals and maybe things that I've achieved. I might do it and just see how it goes. Can I be bothered measuring? Yes, I'll do it. I really am not a measuring kind of person. I'm really haphazard about it, but 21, what is that, 10.5? This does not look straight, but I guess it's straight. And I guess we're just gonna stamp Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. I'm actually impressed so far that I haven't made a mistake. I feel like it's inevitable. I'm gonna make a mistake eventually. I just don't know where. Okay, and I think I'm gonna write the months as well because I just can't remember. Like if I had to try to remember what Q3 was, yeah, I'm not going to. So just I'm gonna stamp. Do I write it or stamp it? January. I mean, I've got these little stamps. I might just do that. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I don't know when I'm going to fill this out and if I want to split it again, but I'm just going to leave that for now and play it by ear, see how I feel, if I want to set goals or if I want to write down highlights. I don't particularly like the idea of like writing down goals and then not achieving them and then having some ticked and some crossed out. So I don't think I want to plan directly in here because like I said, I want it to be more of a summary journal. So I think I might just temporarily like write down what I want to achieve for that quarter on a separate like memo post-it note and then transfer it over like whatever I have done. So I think it'll be a little bit cleaner that way because I just don't want it to be like too messy if there's things that I haven't ticked off and then I need to transfer it over. I think it'll just be a lot cleaner to see the entire year, like each quarter overview, if I've only written down what I've achieved, because again, it's meant to be like a summary journal. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it there and see like maybe I'll change my mind in the next few weeks until January. So the next four pages, yes, is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, but in a little bit more detail with preset questions. So I do quarterly check-ins for my workshop patrons, and I normally just record a video and I write it down in Notion, but I never really check it again. And again, I don't really ever see it unless I open up that page in Notion. So I thought it'd be nice that when I actually do those like quarterly check-ins that I write it down in here because I'm doing them anyway. So I've prepared a page in Canva just to see how the layout will look. I'll put a screenshot up of it. Initially, I thought I would do like a quarterly plan and then quarterly review. So it's a double spread of one quarter. But then I found that like I didn't really have that many questions I wanted to like answer about it. Fitting it on one page kind of works better. So I think I'm just going to write Q1 plan and review, Q2 plan and review, or do I just write Q1? Okay, I might put Q1 again in the corner and then put the months here. Just so like design wise, it's a little bit more interesting. But let's do that. So I've got the Q. was way more difficult than it needed to be. Stamping those, I really had a hard time trying to keep the page down and then stamping it. It was just a disaster. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to put priorities, achievements / highlights, what I'm proud of, what needs work, and my rating for the quarter. I'm just trying to think of the spacing. I will probably need this. I really know I should, but I really don't want to measure it. I'm just going to guess it and try to write it where I think it is. Priorities can go here. Capital or no capitals? I'll do capitals. I might not draw the lines actually, because I think that'll look too messy, and I'll just use this like pencil board thing at the back to make sure I write straight, but I'm just going to use it now as a guide. I feel like that worked out really nicely. It fits on the page really nicely. I could have maybe bumped it down a little bit, but I think that's okay. And now the hard part is trying to make sure I can replicate it. It's pretty much just one square gap between the top, and as long as I keep that accurate, it might be in a different place here, but that's totally fine. I'm just going to speed through the next part as I set it up because it's going to be exactly the same, but that's pretty much what it's going to look like. And then I'm just going to fill it out at the beginning. That's the only thing I need to fill out at the beginning of the quarter, and then this is all at the end. Okay, that is done. The key thing now is to be able to remember to fill it out because I don't want to like have to backtrack and try to remember what I did. But again, like I said, I do it every quarter anyway for Patreon. I send out a form for my patrons, my workshop patrons, to fill out and to like encourage them to do a check-in as well, because I do think it's really helpful to have these breaks in your year to make sure you're on track. Like, are you on track for your yearly goals? And also to remind yourself that why does priorities look wrong? That's spelled right, isn't it? To remind yourself that like you actually have achieved a lot in the past 3 months, but it's easy to forget. So kind of like a self-care business activity, but that is the Q1 plan and review. And then social media stats. So I wasn't sure what I wanted, like how I wanted to display it. I thought maybe I'd just put it in a table. But then I was looking around on Canva and there was this template that I think works really well. And what they have is, I'll put it up on the screen. They have followers, growth, posts, and top viewed. So I don't really care about the top viewed. So I'm just going to have those 3 columns of followers, growth, and posts. And for posts, I'm going to write down like how many times I posted. And so I'm going to dedicate a page for each social media platform. So I'm going to put Instagram here, my Planned By Jysla Instagram. And then I'm going to put Planned By Jysla YouTube. And then I'm going to put, I was going to put Patreon, but I feel like the growth it's just going to be like +1. -1, +1, -3. Like it's might be a little bit boring, so I might not do Patreon, which means I will have just the Instagram page for my personal one, which is the Jysla K one. But then I have a missing page and I'm like, do I want to do a TikTok one? Like I'm not really putting any effort into TikTok. I did succumb to the the pressure. That no one was pressuring me, but I did feel like it was the right thing to do. So I do have an account. I'm just not really posting anything on there, but maybe next year I will try a little bit more to reach that audience. I'm pretty much just posting the exact same content on Instagram as on TikTok, so I have zero strategy there, but I think I'm just going to set up 3 pages first and leave that blank for now in case I change my mind. I don't want to feel like I have to fill it out just for the sake of filling it out. So yes, that is what I'm going to do. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh no. I guess it just goes underneath there. I really should have like drawn this line just slightly higher and it would have been fine. But that's okay. That's not the worst. I'm leaving marks because I haven't put a top coat on yet. I'm going to write the months now this way. I don't think I'm going to draw a line just to make it look cleaner, and then I'm going to write followers, growth, whether it's like plus or minus, like what the difference is, and then posts. So split that across into 3. It definitely could be worse, but it's functional. And now I've got to do on the same side. I'm smudging, oh no, but move it up a bit more so it's not as low. I don't know what happened here compared to this page, but this total mess. Like the ruler and the pen just combined, it just kept smudging everything. That's fine. That is technically our first, well, this was the first mistake. That's no big deal. It's functional. It still works. But that is done. I think that's pretty good. The spacing, oh, I totally didn't even go down. The spacing is a lot better on this page. And I just need to do one more on this side. Okay, finally that is done. I did not enjoy ruling those lines at all. I think this is why bullet journaling never really took off for me, because I do not enjoy the lines. Like I don't think I'd be able to survive drawing like a calendar every single month. It just, the need for it to look straight is just like, no, I can't. And I think if I didn't already have this like spare notebook, I would have just printed this out. Like I already pre-planned it pretty much on Canva, so I would have just made my own book. But because I had this notebook, like I figured I would just actually fill it out. But yeah, eventually when I don't have any spare notebooks, I might just make my own summary book, and I'm able to, you know, make it neater. It would save so much time and it would look so much prettier. So this is just a good test using an existing book that I have. But let's just check so far. It's looking okay. I'm loving this. This just makes me feel happy and inspired. Goals, intentions, quarterly plans, social media trackers. That is so funny. That just looks so terrible, but so funny. And like I said, I'm going to keep this side blank for now because I don't know what I want. I could do like a summary, like I could print out photos if I really wanted to, like posts that I'm proud of. I could write down if a particular reel did well. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it blank because I have no idea. And this is going to be monthly income. So because I have income from different sources, I think instead of just having like one line and income which would fit on a single page, I think I'm going to do boxes, which means I'm going to have to draw more boxes, unfortunately. Yes, I think I'm going to have 6 boxes per page, and then I'm going to write each of the income categories, income sources like Patreon, Etsy, shop, markets, Longform Studio, which is my design business, and other. Sometimes there's just random other. But I think that's what I'm going to do. Again, I'm probably going to speed through this. Nothing too exciting here. Spacing is super off on some of these boxes, but I eventually figured it out. Smudged again, made the box, like the line, way too long, but I think that's fine. I'm really happy that it fits. And then I'm just gonna fill in the amounts here at the end of, oh no, I just realized that I don't have months on these. I might just stamp in the sides. I think I just have enough room. Oh, I just realized this one is way too close to this side as well. Okay, we are stamping. Thankfully, there is still some room, but that is so funny that I totally forgot that. Okay, thankfully we were able to recover that, and that turned out okay. I am not enjoying doing these boxes. That took way too long, but we got there. We got there in the end, and definitely don't use like a jelly pen like I am. This is a Muji pen. It's great to write with, not so much to draw lines with. But yeah, let's move on to the next page. Whew, this is taking way longer than I thought. So use up list, I think I might not need to set that up, except maybe just do the title, because I'm just going to write, like I'm not going to draw lines, I'm just going to write the product that I use up and then the date that I use it up. So that's just kind of a fill in as I go. So that doesn't require too much of a setup, but I'm just going to write things I've used up, use up list, things used up. Let's go with things used up. I think that is it for that page. This page is favorite books read. I really like what I've seen other people do where they just do like their favorite book of the month. They just choose a book from each month. That's their pick. But sometimes I will not read a single good book in a month, like not a single 5-star. So I didn't want to limit myself to just one book a month. And I think I'm just going to do, I should be able to fit 12-ish books comfortably. But I'm going to do like just all of my favorite books that I read for that year, which is probably just going to be like 20, what am I saying? It's going to be the 5-star rated books most likely. I don't know how many that will be, so I'm going to leave that. I'll just do the title, I guess. And then I'll print out the photos either all at the end of the year or as I go. And then I have like book rating stickers. Do I have it here? I have pretty much these that I've made a while ago that I never actually listed in the store because I wasn't super happy with the outline of them. I may bring them back, but then this is an example of something that would work much better as a stamp, I feel. But also this is fine. I have a lot to use up, so I'll probably use the small ones. I think these big ones are way too big. Yeah, I'll use the small ratings under each book that way. But I think I will do that as I go. I don't think there's anything for me to set up here except just the title. So I'm going to do favorite books in 2024, or just favorite books. Favorite books. Favorite books. I think that's it. What I also decided to do literally this morning, before I started recording this, was I've seen, like, it just looks so pretty to have all of the book covers here. And I did try a reading journal, like I mentioned, I don't know when I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned. I tried a reading journal and it wasn't for me because I felt like I didn't want to review every single book. Like not every book deserved a full-on review. And so the good books I'm going to either put in my commonplace, but I still will continue tracking it in Notion. But I thought it might be nice to just have all of the books I've read and just their rating here. It'll look the same as this, whereas this is just like my favorite books. And I won't need to review it, but I'll just put all of the covers so I can see every single book that I've read, and then the rating sticker underneath. I'm guessing I'll need around 5 pages, because that's 60 books, and I'm on track to reading about 60 this year, so I'm going to assume it's around the same. So if I can fit 4 across and 3 down comfortably, that's 12 a page. So 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. I'll just leave the blank one in case I need it. It's not ideal, but I'm sure I'll find a way to fill up these pages. Again, I don't really need to fill this out yet because I'll just print off the books as I go, and I can do that anytime. I might do it a page at a time, so when I've read 12 books, then I'll print all those 12 off, just so I can get like the layout right. For the heading, I don't know what to write. Maybe just books in 2024. That's 48 books. I'm gonna leave these 2 blank just in case I don't read more than 40. Did I say 42? 48 books. So I can just do those headings afterwards, but I'm gonna leave that blank just in case. That's that. And now monthly highlights. Oh no, I have to draw some more boxes. I really do not want to. So I'm thinking I might just divide the page instead into 6, because I do not want to draw boxes and it's just going to smudge again. That does look pretty good, but can I handle it? I don't think so. So it'll look more like this. Yeah, I don't think I can handle it. So I'm just gonna divide the page rather than draw boxes to save myself some time. Whew, these stamps are irritating me, but we got there. I'm kind of happy with the way that looks, but now my brain wants to like turn it sideways and that makes no sense. But I'm just gonna write it this way, I think. So yeah, simple. This line looks really crooked to me. I'm pretty sure that's crooked. That's okay. We won't look at that for too long, but that is monthly highlights. I think that's a nice view. We are getting there. Month plan. Okay, so we should be able to rush through this one. I'm pulling up what my month plan is. I'll put it on the screen, what I've planned out in Canva. It's going to have 3 priorities, looking forward to, and then an end of month review. So the plan is quite simple. And then the review will be currently enjoying, struggling with, intention for next month, income. Do I want income? I don't think I need income because I'm going to have it here. Oh, I didn't even put total. I just realized I didn't put total income. Oh no. I might just write it on top. Maybe. I'll figure that out when I get to it. Do I need income here? I don't think so because I have that reference page. So I'm going to leave out income and then highlight for the month. But now I'm thinking I already have highlights here, so maybe not. And then social media stats for the month. But again, we already have it here. I just thought it would be a nice way to just see it at a glance, like the month. But I can just flip back easily and see that. So really, let me edit my template. All I really want is priorities, looking forward to, end of month review, and then nothing. Really? Okay, let's just try that and see how that looks. I don't think it'll take up the whole page, but we shall see. I am not looking forward to stamping again. So I am going to write in the, what do I call it? Prompts? Questions? Kind of similar to how I did the quarterly check-ins before. It's gonna look pretty much the same. We are done. I did not enjoy that at all. That was extremely tedious to write, and I just kept thinking I look forward to never doing this again. I would much rather print this out, but it does look good and it was easy enough. It was just a lot of writing of the same thing over and over, which is weird because like I can do morning pages and write much more than this, but this was just tedious and boring. but that's okay. I'm happy with how that looks. No idea how the to-do list part is going to go, but I think that's fine. I like how nice and simple that is. Okay, we're almost at the end. This is taking way longer than I thought it would. I have the fan on. Hopefully it's not like making too much noise. So I'm going to do favorite new products here. And I think I was going to do it across 2 pages, because if I print out a photo, I can probably only fit 4 on a page. And I'm assuming I will have more than 4 on a page, or maybe I want to write something about it. So I'm just gonna dedicate this entire spread to favorite new products that I create, like design, outsource, or create myself. I'm gonna write favorite new products. I was doing so well, and then I just did that one sideways. I am losing it. I am getting to my limit. This is much more of an intense setup than I thought. I think because I didn't anticipate the stamping. I think if I knew now, knew then what I knew now, I would not stamp the pages. That is just way too much effort. But it's fine. We are too late now. So favorite new products, and then I'll decide the layout as I go throughout the year. I might even just fill it out at the end of the year. But yes, that's fine. Favorite new products. And then this is going to be 2024 highlights in pictures. Again, I'm going to do maybe a picture for each month, or just choose favorite highlights so I don't restrict myself to the month, because some months are slower than others, and maybe there's multiple highlights within the same month. So I'm assuming that's going to take multiple spreads. 2 spreads I dedicated to it because I might be writing things as well. I thought it was a nice visual way of seeing my highlights rather than just, you know, in words. And I feel like photos kind of bring back a lot of memories. So I might just put post-it notes down of like potential highlight moments so I don't forget. But I will leave that blank for now. And then the very last page, we made it to the end. The very last page is just the letter to self. How was 2024? I am not going to put an envelope for this one because I don't need to keep this one hidden. Hidden just to myself, because the first one I don't want to like tempt myself into reading it. I want to keep it as a letter. And I think depending, again, I'm just going to leave it blank, but depending on how I feel when I start to write this, I may turn it into a letter, like a longer letter, or just write it directly here. But that is it. That is officially it. I have stamp ink all over my hands. But let's do a flip through from the beginning. Let me try to like move all these stamps out of the way. I'm making a mess. I didn't say what it was. This is a Midori A5 blank notebook, I believe. It came in a pack of 3. I bought it in Japan. Didn't know what I wanted it for. I just knew I really wanted Midori, like a Midori notebook. I just figured if I'm in Japan, I might as well buy it in Japan. It makes sense. I think the first part of the book, journal, I don't know what to call it, the planner, is my favorite part because it's more like goals based and it's just inspiring. And then the rest is just about filling out later. But I think once I've started to fill out everything, it'll look pretty cool. And hopefully I find a use for these blank pages. I think the favorite books and just like the books that I've read page will look so fun when I finished reading it, because right now just in Notion, like I could upload the images to Notion, but it doesn't look the same. It doesn't look as like clean. It's just nice to have that visual representation. So I've never done this before. I think this will be fun. And hopefully it fits within here. I've previously tried to do monthly highlights, but I always like forget to fill it out at the end of each month. So hopefully I can stay on top of this. I'm going to have to keep the planner like near me so I like remind myself to do it. This will be interesting as well because I don't know if I will enjoy filling this out or enjoy looking back on. This is my very first like time doing this kind of planner, so it's all just about experimenting and hopefully just being able to keep up with it. I'm pretty determined to like finish it so that I have a good like sample data of whether or not I enjoyed it. Hopefully it's just not too tedious, like I'm not just creating extra work for myself, but ideally it's something really nice to be able to look back on because it's so easy to forget what you've done in the month and just remember generally your year. But it would be nice to have like multiple of these planners so I can see at a glance how the year was. Favorite new products, I think that'll be nice as well because there will be no way I will remember what products I create in that year by memory, so this will be a nice visual memory. What is this? I forgot what this was. Oh, this was 2024 highlights. I should put that back because I am not going to remember. 2024 highlights in pictures across 2 spreads. And then, I'll keep this back here, the letter to self. We are officially done. If you made it to the end, I hope maybe you were planning with me because that was extremely long. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know if you have something similar, if you're going to do something similar, or if you have been doing something similar, if you find it helpful. Do you ever look back on it? Because I don't think I ever really look back at planners because I haven't really had journals or planners that are meant to be looked back on. Like I've only ever really kept morning pages consistently. But that is it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this evolves and keeping up with it, letting you know. And just, I'm hoping that I don't hate this like 2 months in. But that is all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.